Sometimes creativity just sort of stops. It's not that we've lost interest or that all the ideas have disappeared forever. It's just that everything feels so still or way too chaotic. It feels like our minds need to rest before they can move again. I used to panic a little when that happened. I wonder if maybe I'd used up all my ideas or that I'd lost my creative spark somehow. But over time I've learned that creative block isn't a failure, and it definitely is nothing permanent. It's simply a moment in time. It's your mind saying, I need a little space before I can make something again. There were times when I sat at my desk with all my supplies around me and still feel completely frozen. And the funny thing is, the moment I stopped trying to make something good and just started gluing scraps down, my shoulders dropped, my breathing slowed, and I remembered, oh yeah, right, this can be simple and fun. And for me, gluebooking has really become the best way to ease myself back in. It's quiet, it's tactile, and it doesn't demand that I know what I'm doing. It just asks me to show up with my scissors, a glue stick, and a few scraps of paper. I'm Deborah. Welcome back to the collage table. Today I'm working in my Gluebook and talking about how I use gluebooking to move through creative block, gently and without any pressure. I think one of the hardest parts of creative block is that it makes you second guess everything. You sit there overthinking, wondering where to start, or telling yourself you start once you have a better idea. But the truth is, most ideas don't come from thinking, they come from doing. When I start a new spread while I feel blocked, I really don't plan anything. I just start flipping through magazines or old papers. I let myself notice what pulls my attention, a color, a phrase, a bit of texture. Sometimes I don't even know why I like something, but I'll tear it out anyway. That tiny act of following a feeling, a bit of curiosity, is what starts to bring the spark back. I'm curious, when you're blocked, do you find yourself reaching for the same colors or themes over and over? Because I notice I do that, without even meaning to. Let me know if that happens to you too. Making collages in a Gluebook works because it's so low stakes. You don't need a theme or a special purpose. You can make something that makes no sense at all, and still you're creating. And that movement, the cutting, the gluing, the layering, that's what helps untangle the creative knots in your head. There are days when I'll just sit and glue random pieces down, not caring how it looks. And sometimes that's when something unexpectedly beautiful happens. It's like your hands remember how to create before your mind does. I think so much of creative block is really just pressure. Pressure to make something good, pressure to be productive, pressure to live up to your own expectations. But creativity doesn't grow under pressure. It grows when you give it space to breathe. Gluebooking is my way of creating that space. It's not about the final page. It's about the quiet in between the thoughts. It's about getting lost in small details, the sound of scissors, the feeling of paper under your fingertips, the satisfaction of smoothing something down just right. And sometimes, while I'm doing this, maybe something in my life that I couldn't quite figure out suddenly makes sense. Or I realize why I've been feeling stuck in the first place. Not always, but often enough that I've learned creativity and clarity tend to show up together once the pressure is gone. When I give myself permission to make something purely for myself, something that doesn't need to be shared or explained, that's when the energy starts to return. It's like my mind realizes, oh yes, right, this is supposed to be fun like this. If you ever gone through a creative block, that frustrating place where you want to make something but you can't seem to get started, I'd love to hear how you move through it. If you feel like sharing, tell me in the comments. And if you don't have the words, just leave a yellow heart so I know you're here and that we're all in this together. Sometimes it also helps to change how we think about creativity. Instead of seeing it as a straight line from idea to finished project, I like to think it's more like a cycle. There are moments of growth and momentum, but there's also the quiet seasons, when you're absorbing instead of creating, when you're gathering inspiration without realizing it. And honestly, those quiet seasons can feel uncomfortable. We think you're supposed to be constantly producing, constantly sharing, constantly showing progress to the world. But creativity needs dormancy too, the same way plants need winter. That stillness doesn't mean something is wrong, it means something is preparing. And it gets even harder when you're scrolling through social media. Everyone else seems to be making something new every 5 minutes. New spreads, new projects, new videos, like creativity is this endless fountain. And it's so easy to look at your own quiet season and think you're falling behind somehow. But what we see online is the finished moment, not the silence it came from. Almost nobody shows the days where nothing works, or the weeks where the scissors stay in the drawer. So, if you've been comparing yourself lately, just remember that your pace is allowed to be your own. Your creativity isn't late, it's just taking a breath. And lately, with all the AI art everywhere, it's also easy to feel like human creativity has to get faster just to keep up. Like, if you're not producing constantly, you'll somehow really get left behind. But handmade work isn't supposed to compete with machines. What makes your art special is the part that's you. Your mood, your scraps, your hands, your timing. AI can make images or fake collages, sure, but it can't make your pages. And it definitely can't feel that tiny spark you get when a piece of paper fits just right. And that's why I would say go and gluebook during these slower seasons. It can pull you out of the comparison spiral. Gluebooking fits quiet moments, it's creative, but it's also restorative. You can still make, but without forcing anything. You can fill a page with scraps and textures and colors that don't have to mean anything yet. And maybe later, when you look back, you'll notice patterns or feelings that were forming underneath. For me, that's what keeps my creativity alive. Not constant output, but staying connected to the act of making, even when I don't know where it's leading. So, if you find yourself in a creative block right now, maybe give yourself permission to stop trying so hard. Sit down with a glue book, tear up some old pages, and just make something small. Don't worry about the result, just move your hands and let your thoughts slow down. And if all you do today is collect just a few images or glue down a single piece of paper, that still counts. You showed up for your creativity, and that's enough. You might be surprised how quickly your creativity finds its way back. Sometimes it just needs to know you're still there waiting for it. Thank you for spending a little time with me today. If you want to see more of my collage work, check out the playlists after this. For now, thank you for watching. Take care of yourself. Till next time. Bye.